y'all? It's your boy Cold Blooded, and I'm back with another one. Look, I'm hyped, man. They added my man Sergio Martinez to the game, and if y'all know me, he's one of my favorite fighters ever. So I had to go crazy with him, man. I had to. It took me a little while to put this video out because I've been so busy just enjoying the game that I didn't want to sacrifice my playtime to edit it. So, but here we go though. Being able to play with him extensively and just utilize the southpaw long term really opened my eyes to little subtle nuances that exist in the game, mainly with the physics engine that I never thought about prior, and it really changed the way I had to pursue things moving forward. So it was a big learning curve, big learning experience. I actually lost this fight right here, but I had to put the knockdown in. Shout out to Kingo, one of my best fights ever. That was a great fight. So check this out. This footage was from before they reverted the ability to go southpaw back. You'll see I'm changing stances constantly, and I kind of had to. So as you guys know, the Philly shell is susceptible to that overhand. It goes right over the shoulder, and so I love playing against Roy Jones players because if they move, they're always open to the overhand. If you're moving backwards or moving forward, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to track you with that overhand because you're always in a Philly shell. You're actually better off using Roy as a stationary fighter. This way you can get the high guard because that overhand will piece you apart. And I lost access to it as a southpaw with Sergio. So being able to change stances and put that right overhand over his shoulder was crucial. And Roy eventually caught on. The Roy player eventually caught on, and he went southpaw. But he didn't do himself any favors because Sergio's left hand is where the money is. And so the moment he actually went southpaw, as you'll see here, it opened himself up for the power left hook from Sergio. And as you'll see here, if I jab to the body first, bop, boom, it makes the power hook come out like lightning. So we're gonna have some fun with this one, man. We're gonna hop in the lab and review a fight that I had with a Kell Brook player that I really enjoyed. I thought it was a pretty good fight. I thought we represented the game pretty well. I like to review fights, man. I like to do it in real time and give myself a real report. And I'll just be critical of myself if I have to, see what I could have done better. Because sometimes I end up in these tough fights and I'm like, you know what? I could have did better there. And sometimes I rewatch them and I'm like, you know what? Contrary to what the game scored card was, I thought the other person won. And so I got to make the changes necessary to make sure the next time I review a fight, I don't feel like I might have lost, even if they had me winning the shutout, you know what I mean? Because the game does score stuff kind of funny. But yeah, let's hop into it, man. So right out the gate, I feel like Kell's pretty aggressive. I do all my usually the first 2 rounds, I do them all the same. I either take the center ring or I back up, try to do the exact opposite of whatever my opponent's doing. I don't have any like plan set in stone until I see what you're doing. And really what I'm looking for is what your first like punch is, or what your first combo is. I wanted to see if Kell would come out and throw an uppercut first. If he's doing an uppercut to the body first, it kind of lets me know what we're waiting for. Because we do know what those uppercuts are hitting for right now. They kind of bust it. Now, although I do take these rounds kind of slow, I'm usually more comfortable to boot. So I do get the impression Kell's making me really uncomfortable here. Oh, great body shot by Kell. Now, a couple things to note that I found out just by playing Martinez for a little bit and at the southpaw is scoring isn't always in my favor from jab heavy for a lot of different reasons. So using the good defense right there. And yeah, so I can already see right here Kell is pretty body shot heavy with the uppercuts. As you see, my stamina's already took a pretty big hit in this round without even punching much, just from having to absorb those body uppercuts. So knowing myself, I'm probably going to resort to blocking low and leaning forward to really make sure I catch those and maybe even try to counter off of them. It's another body uppercut by Kell. I haven't thrown one yet. It's probably time I dig into that bag as well, because they are high scoring punches. They're damn near guaranteed to get in, and it is a stamina fight at the end of the day. So you see, I come out immediately, block low, block what I think is going to be a body uppercut. I succeed, and I do it again. And he's kind of doing exactly what I expect. I'm preemptively low blocking for potential uppercuts to the body, and then leaning into him to make sure I guarantee the block. It's the only way to be able to do that. And there we go. And there's mine. I'm gonna start mixing mine into the body. Now I do them very sparingly. Like again, I try to be simulated, so I don't want to spam them. They are pretty busted. I'd rather do a hook instead of a uppercut. But I do make sure whenever I do them, I do them as a power punch. So you'll see me always hit the right bumper before those body shots. I want to make sure I put everything on them. And I don't just get the reward, but I also put a risk out there as well. And technically I'm handicapping myself, but that's okay. I don't mind it. But the body shot, that was a counter. So I get the impression that I am uncomfortable here. Here we go. Trying to find my range. So yeah, about the southpaw.
Yeah, this is for classics.
So you'll notice, and this is usually more common when the opponent is on the left side of the screen. You'll notice when they block, they always block, and the first lean is usually toward the screen, or toward the like down, toward the player. So typically when somebody's on the left side of the screen, you'll see when they go into their lean, they always lean beautiful. Those are power straights, by the way. You'll never see me throw a shit unless it's a power straight very often. Well, I missed a round here, so yeah, I did win the second round. Okay, as we just saw, I lost the third round according to that scorecard. So it gave me an idea of what I probably need to be doing. Here we go. I don't know what happened to the third round, but it's clear as day that I totally found my groove a little bit the third round, even though I lost that round. Judging by what the scorecard just said, I'm having much better success in my range now, looking more confident, engaging more. I also think I'm engaging more because the scorecard said I was down. But yeah, I keep missing opportunity to talk about this southpaw thing. So hear me out from the physics point of view. Good uppercut. From the physics point of view, when I'm too close, like I am right there, and I throw a regular jab, it comes from the hip with Sergio. And because it comes from the hip, whatever your lead hand is always going to be above my jab. So it's going to be really hard for me to land the jab as a southpaw. Now, if I was able to go southpaw, if I was able to go orthodox rather, the left jab would find far more success, especially when it comes to the character blocking. So you'll notice as he leans, he's always leaning toward the camera first. And because he leans toward the camera first, his left hand always goes up. And that's the hand that's always going to block and or parry my right jab. So you see that? Look at his lean. His left arm is always higher when he initially leans. And so although it leaves him open for left hands, it leaves him more open for a better safety shot, which would be a left jab. So if I was using an orthodox fighter, I would have far more success on my jab against this guy. But because I'm using a southpaw, I'm not able to really find a home for my jab because he's always leaning. You go lean again, lean again, lean again. And you see, so it's not the lean that's making me have difficulty finding my range so much as it's the fact that he leans and he's ever so slightly leaning toward the camera. So that left glove is always up. So you see, I'm trying to find ways to walk around it now. There we go. And again, once I'm able to change stances, I'll have less issues with that. I'll just be able to change to orthodox and start feeding him the left jab and have more success that way. But in the meantime, I had to find a home with my left hand, be it overhands or straights, which I don't like to abuse. Good power hook. Sergio's power shots come out so fast. Look at that. That's another power hook. The speed on that is just crazy. It's a much better round for me right here. I'm seeing my block meter come up more. I'm responding really well. I look a lot more comfortable in these last 2 rounds. Oh, huge uppercut. I probably went for that for the body. I never throw uppercuts to the head. There it is. That's what I was looking for. And I ended up getting that counter. It could have been 2 counters though, but I'll take the one. Here we go. So you can clearly see I'm much more comfortable with my range now. Getting the jab off just as I think Kell's going to open up. Because it's Kell Brook, I am also being very safe. So a lot of the reasons why I'm starting so short on that range is because it's Kell Brook. So he's got, he's got the trait for the 10% increased damage on counters. So I really don't want to get countered. I'm going to play very safe against a Kell Brook player. And he's also got the punches and bunches. So I also don't want to get hit with too many combinations. So although I want to get my blocks up and cater to the scorecard with some decent blocks, I also don't want to block 1 or 2 attacks and then get hit with the 3rd one, because that's the one that's going to hurt since he's got punches and bunches. So I want to avoid allowing him the ability to throw any combinations, and I want to avoid getting countered. And that's the key with Kell Brook. Try not to sit in the pocket and let him throw combos, and try not to get countered. Beautiful left. Beautiful left. So you see, I'm starting to find my swag now. It took half the fight, but I'm very comfortable now. I'm dropping my hands more, starting to just pump the block as opposed to holding it. I'm more comfortable that I have his timing. Starting to maneuver around and take advantage of the left hook to the body. Left uppercut. Beautiful. Circled around his jab, made him pay. He responds well. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. Right outside his jab. 1, 2. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm totally comfortable now. Oh, see, I'm starting to see things now. I mean, at this point, I think I've realized what his defense is. Start to see all the holes in it, and kind of taking it apart. See, he's no longer doing. Okay, there it is. He's no longer doing the same lean back he was doing. It was a lean back, high block into slightly toward the camera. Now he's just kind of leaning back and reaching for the body, which is still not gonna help him. So he's leaning back and he's body blocking. The uppercut would damn near always get in. Even fight on the scorecard at this point, the uppercut would damn near always get in, but I'm gonna use that too often. He should be leaning back and he should be leaning forward and low blocking. There's the uppercut again. Traded. Good body jab. Good job, Kell. So I'm seeing urgency from Kell. I'm not sure what scorecard he saw. I saw an even scorecard. I'm assuming he saw the same. But the way he's showing urgency is maybe he saw a losing scorecard. I don't know. Good work. Oh, the defense is shining there. I'm really happy there. Got some really good blocks off. Now here I'm gonna kind of sit here. You can tell I'm catering toward the judges right there. So when you see me do that, my sole objective is to just get as many blocks as I can that round and cater to the judges. Boom. Oh yeah, so it took me a minute, but you start to see me mixing that power jab in. So what I figured out is that power jab, regardless who you're using, the animation is always the same. It's always a straight jab. it comes straight out from the shoulder. The reason that matters is because, like I was saying, the jab from the southpaw stance is, especially with Sergio, it seems to come from the hip if you're not at the max range. So when I'm too close, my arm is always getting stuck under Kell's left hand, so I'm not really able to land the jab. But if I throw a power jab, it's always over Kell's left hand. And that's two things. So that is physics, and it's also very realistic. If anybody's ever fought before, typically when you have an orthodox fighter versus a southpaw, the battle with the lead hand is whoever has the lead hand the highest. You always want to try to get your lead hand over your opponents. That's why you see a lot of fencing and a lot of reaching when you see orthodox versus southpaw. This is good work. Good counter by Kell. Good overhand. Body shot. I'm in the impression that I've totally found my comfort zone at this point. Like this fight was 2 days ago, so it's kind of cool to come back and revisit it. And there's so many things that I feel like I could have done different here. I had a slow start and like that. I described the things that I noticed about the jab that made it ineffective, that I could have done better against if I would have. Oh, look at that! Pop, pop, pop. Those are all power punches, by the way. That's a power 2-1-2. That's the reason I do that so much with Sergio. Another great counter uppercut is because that was his patented move. The 1-2-1-2. He destroyed Kell Brook with it. He destroyed Kelly Patrick with it. Beautiful. Now I'm walking him into the left. Yeah, at this point, it's gonna be very hard to beat me. I think I found some really good timing. I think range is no longer so much of an issue as it was. Just timing was an issue. Look at that. More counters. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Bro, that overhand should have killed him. Gotta buff the power, y'all. Come on. Yeah, see, I'm getting jabbed, but I'm responding back immediately now. Beautiful counter by Kell. I'm responding back immediately now, so it's helping my timing. My timing's definitely there now. Range is a bit off, and that's understandable because he was leaning back so much. It completely threw me off my game in terms of where my range should be, and that's kudos to him. It's weird that he went for an uppercut that far out. That's another thing. That's why the uppercut is so busted. Oh, beautiful by me right there. I think I wanted a hook. You notice if you guys pay attention, I use the buttons and the sticks a lot. Oftentimes I use the sticks for the hooks and the uppers, and I use the buttons for the jab and the cross. Okay. Beautiful. This is actually the first round that I've seen that Kell has finally decided to take a step back. Now, because of desync issues, I don't know what fight that he's actually watching. and it sucks to say that. We're totally not watching the same fight, but from my perspective and the scorecards that I gathered after the 6th round, I do feel like I'm up. Maybe he feels like he's up. I feel like I won the last 2 rounds. He probably feels like he won the last 2 rounds, so he's starting to retreat now. And now the shoe's on the other foot. Now, personally, because of the way scoring is in this game, I prefer to be the aggressor. That allows me the most opportunities to get some decent blocks off, to get some good leaning in. And blocking is scored so heavily. So that's a huge opportunity that you want. You want to get your blocks off and just be accurate. As you know, you have to use the left trigger to lean and get some manual blocking in, right? And so if you're moving laterally the entire time, obviously you don't want to sit still. So you tend to prevent using the left trigger as much as possible, so you're not sitting still. Well, so who's winning the block battle then? Clearly, the aggressor because I'm able to stop and move my hips and get those blocks off. That's why I feel like the scoring right now heavily favors the guy moving forward, so long as you do it the right way. So that round gave me an opportunity to show him, listen, this is probably how you probably should be stepping to me. And as you see the cards here, I'm up pretty big now. And I always love when that happens. I always love when the shoe gets put on the other foot, and then I get to walk forward and I show them, listen, I don't mind it. I am here for the long haul, number one, and number two, I know how to beat it. So he's gonna show a bit of urgency now because I am up big. I'm really digging that left hook to the body, left hook and uppercut. I almost feel cheesy saying that, but I'm making it work at the right time. Like those are actually the hooks. I'm jabbing the hook. I'm making them work at the right time. I'm not just like spamming them in there. I'm not forcing them. I'm getting flashing screens every time I do it a lot of times. So the timing is really good. And just keeping them honest, you know, man. It's keeping them pretty honest. Good old man. Oh my goodness. Up the power straight. So you see, this has been happening quite a few times throughout the fight. My first time really bringing it up though. You'll notice I came out of loose movement here. I need to make more precise steps now. Because the goal during that exchange was clearly that I wanted to mix it up more and get some counter windows. So now I'm back in loose movement. This way I can disengage a bit faster. Oh, there it is, the 2-1-2. Fast. Again. At this point I'm styling. For me to even use that back to back like that tells me that I just have full confidence. I don't think there's anything he can do with me. Now, I probably should have used the left more. I don't like the way the backstepping straight looks in this game. It's ugly to look at, number one, and I've seen it spammed so many times that, I mean, from a tactical point of view, it is something you want to use often in this game to stay safe, but I just don't like looking at it. So I try not to do it too often. I prefer to do that though. I prefer to use the power straight every time instead. There was another one right there. Looks like I'm sizing him up for another one. We'll see. Yep, sure am. Beautiful, straight into hook. Oh man, as you see, I'm walking them into heavy punches now. These are all modified shots. Good body work by him. Yep, a little give and take, trying to bait him hitting the ear. Oh, I missed that. He could have made me pay. As you know, he couldn't have. The damage isn't what it has to be yet. But ideally, I missed something like that. This should be big punishment for it. Oh, good job. Now I did block that, but just because of the flashing light, there's always some questions. Ooh. I like the way he blends that uppercut in there. I really like that. Kell Brook calls them the chocolate brownies. I really like the way he blends the uppercuts in. They look good. I remember like everybody talking about how trash the uppercuts were at the start, but he tried to find a home for them. They haven't landed, but he blends them in to the head. Now, oh my God! As y'all see, from the 6th round on, I have pretty much just been coasting. I'm purely confident in everything that's going on right now. I think I won the battle in terms of, oh, that's crazy. In terms of finding that range and so on and so forth. I feel like he did the second half, the first half rather. But once I got comfortable, it just became a different ball game. Look at that hook to the body, and that ended up being the real game changer in my opinion. Couldn't find a home for the jab, so I had to find a home for the body hook, which ended up opening a home for the jab and other shots. Look at that. And like everything is open now. Everything is Jesus. Everything is open now. Beautiful hook. And he's just forcing the issue here. Oh man. It's a 3-2-2. Beautiful. Good body shot by Kell. That's crazy work right there by Kell. I don't think I want to risk anything crazy happening. I probably should just fall back, but I don't want to just like run. As you guys see, that's smart. So I went to the shell there just to cover the majority of head punches and all uppercuts to the body, and he rotated around with that body hook. Smart. Tells me he's a thinker. It's a bit too late. Should have thought about stuff like that sooner though. So let's go to the scorecard, man. Let's get an idea of what the judges were looking at and how I personally felt the fight went. So let's check this out. I'm in agreement with Judge 1 more than I am 2 and 3, even though they had me winning by a landslide. I thought it was even going into the 6th round. Had to show a little bit of urgency and kind of break the mold from there. Looking at the punch stance, I kept his percentage really low. I'm happy about that. Kept mine almost at 50%. Always happy about that. Well over 50% with the power punches. Really happy about that. As you can see, I throw a lot of them. The big thing, though, the telling thing is the 57% to the body. I don't do a lot of uppercuts, as you see, only 30 of them, but I did land 57% of my body shots. That's telling 73% of my uppercuts to the body, 44% for him. You'll see both our largest percentages, regardless how many we threw, were uppercuts. I'm going to show you the stats on this fight as well. This is a fight that I lost. You see this guy has a lot of experience. You'll see he went to the body very heavy. You see he threw a lot of uppercuts. You'll see his highest percentage landed is also uppercuts. Hell, so is mine. Body shots, his highest percentage. Largely because he threw a lot of uppers to the body. But that's the state of the game right now. That's the issue with the game. Everybody's highest percentage is uppercuts, regardless how few or how many they throw. For the simple fact that they're getting in far too easy right now. They're really hard to block against. So just some food for thought, just looking at that. This is a fight that was really close. I feel like I shouldn't have lost. He did outwork me, landed a lot more, but he threw a lot more. I'm a little higher on the percentage, but I landed a shit ton of power punches and to no avail. He didn't even have to throw any power punches. So definitely got to crank the power up. This way I can make these kind of guys pay. If I can make somebody pay for throwing 200 or 316 body shots and 220 uppercuts to the body, it wouldn't be a problem. But since I can't make them pay, it's an issue.